Do you want people to stop scrolling past your content on social media? Then you need to watch this video. Today we're going to be talking about how you can create irresistible hooks. And as someone who has written content for the last 365 days non-stop, I'm going to be sharing with you my formula for creating content that bangs every single time. So make sure that you watch this video to the end. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Onyeka Adedayo. I'm a full stack marketer and community builder. And today I want to share with you the secrets I have found to mastering how to reel people into your content. What is a hook? A hook is that first piece of information, that sentence, that image, that text, whatever it is, that first clip, that first part that makes people, decide that, okay, I want to see more. I want to know what is being discussed in this content. And if you do hooks right, you would keep getting people, reading your content, engaging with you. And who doesn't like that on social media? So let me share with you how you can do this for your brand. First, you need to understand that there are certain key ingredients that makes a hook stellar. It must be relatable, it must be within context, and it must evoke an emotion. So let's start off with being relatable. Being relatable means that the people you are speaking to need to understand what you're saying. So it needs to be relatable to them. They need to be able to relate, right? Then you have within context. You cannot be using a visual hook for a text-based content type, right? So if you're writing content on LinkedIn, for example, you cannot be using a visual hook in that kind of scenario. You want to use a written hook, right? If you're creating content on TikTok, you cannot be using a written hook. I mean, you need to use a visual hook. So you always need to ensure that this is within context. You want to make sure that your hook is relevant to what is within the content. Otherwise, you're going to have a high rate of churn. People are going to read the content and just be disappointed, like, I expected something more. So you don't want to do that. You want to ensure that your hook is within context. Then finally, you want to evoke an emotion. There are so many emotions that you can evoke. You can evoke surprise, you can evoke FOMO, that's fear of missing out. You can evoke a trigger, like trigger people to want to respond to you. That happens a lot on platforms like X. Finally, you can evoke something like curiosity. Curiosity kill the cat, right? In this case, it is killing social media attention. So make sure that you try it out. Now, let's talk about the certain kind of hooks you can use to attract attention on social media. The first one, say something completely unexpected. I once made a post on LinkedIn that said, 3 years ago, I joined the police force. I didn't join the police force in the real sense of it. But then reading through the content, provided context, and also it did really, really great. It has been one of my best performing content so far, and I highly recommend that you do something completely unexpected. And this works also if you are creating video content. Secondly, you can use a story hook. What is a story hook? I'll give you an example. This is Bola. In 2025, Bola got a job. She got promoted in 3 months, and in that same month, she got fired. Here is why that happened. It's a story hook, but people will be curious. They want to know what happened to Bola. Well, the hook is hooking, right? It's hooking people's attention. The third one, hide behind a trend or an icon. This can be a popular figure or a trend that is happening within your industry or anything like that. But hiding behind an icon gets people want to know what you're saying. So, for example, you see tweets that say things like, I studied every piece of content so person has ever created, and these are the 5 things that you should take away from this if you want to be successful. Yes, people bookmark a lot of content like that and like and read and engage on every single thing that is within that tweet. Why? Because this person is hiding behind a popular figure, hiding behind a popular trend and information that people want to hear. So you can also take the same approach. Fourth on our list is going to be using a comparison. Many people do not like to be compared, but unfortunately, people like to hear you comparing other people. So doing a comparison post like, I used this tool for 5 days and I use this tool for 30 minutes. Everything to A can do, to B did, and let me show you how. Things like that, it hooks people in. People are seeking for a better way to do things, and if your content can give them that, they're going to be reeled in. Finally, we're going to mention using a statistics. Now, this can be in different formats. It can be you giving like a normal based statistics, or did you know that in 2023, African women spent over $1 billion on their hair? Something interesting that makes people want to learn more, right? It could also be something like a list, right? These are the top 5 platforms to use if you want to do da 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 in 2025. It can get people reeled in, especially if it is specific to your audience pain point. So using a statistics or using a list is the last thing we're going to mention, and it works. Now, what about if you do not want to start writing hooks from scratch? Because it takes a lot of work sometimes to think up these things. Well, I'm going to be sharing with you the ways that I go ahead to do mine. First, I look for already trending content. So whether it's a video or whether it's a piece of content or whether it's even a magazine, whatever it is, I try to watch out for the hooks that you're using and find out, okay, do I like this hook? Is it going to be relevant to my audience? And if it is, I steal it. I mean, you can steal like an artist. I steal it and I use it for my content. Then you also have checking ad libraries. Facebook has an ad library, and platforms like TikTok give you a creative library. See, guys, you can go there and find tons of examples of hooks to use, and you don't even have to do any work yourself. I'll also be giving you two templates containing hooks that you can be using for your social media content. It is going to be in the description below, so make sure that you check it out. Now, guys, if you've come up to this point and you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I mean, hit that subscribe button and see you in the next video.